Okay, so next up is Professor Julie Jomeen, who's the Executive Dean of Health. I don't really need to say very much about her. She's obviously incredible. She wouldn't have that position if she weren't. So I'll just hand over and she'll talk to you.
I don't know, some days I can do incredible, some days I think I don't do so well. But anyway, I think that's all of us. So good morning. It's really great to be here. I would also like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we're gathering today, which for us here, of course, is the Yugambeh peoples. But I'd also like to acknowledge the Widjabul country as the country from where Southern Cross originated in the Northern Rivers and from where it continues to grow, as well as seeding the growth of our Gumbenia campus in Coffs Harbour, and to pay my respects to all their connections to land, water and culture, and to elders past and present and emerging, recognising the land was never ceded and that this always was and always will be Aboriginal land. So a really warm welcome here to the Gold Coast campus at Southern Cross Uni. As has just been said, my name is Julie Jomeen. I'm the Executive Dean of Health here at Southern Cross, as well as a Professor of Midwifery. I'm delighted to have been asked to open your conference. I think many of you will be aware this is Southern Cross University's 30th year. For those of you who don't know, Southern Cross was formally established on the 1st of January 1994 at Lismore and Coffs Harbour. We've come a long way since then. Our Gold Coast campus was opened in 2010, and the university has really gone from strength to strength in recent years. I'm sure that many of you are aware that this year Southern Cross has progressed up the QS rankings, the Times Higher Education and the academic rankings of the world, which are sort of better known as the Shanghai rankings. These are recognised international indices. They all have their own methodology. It's all slightly different, but they really tell the world about where a university is at and how a university is growing and developing. When we think there were about 11,000 universities globally, in 2024, this year, the QS rankings have declared Southern Cross University the most improved university in Oceania, having seen it rise more than 200 places from the previous 5 years. It's pretty good, isn't it? We're doing well. We're doing well. We're going places. We only entered the QS rankings in 2018. So by all standards, that's a pretty meteoric rise, really. And it's what I think we can all agree is progress. When we consider who the top universities are in those rankings, we're looking at places like Oxford, Cambridge and MIT. So you can see the competitive environment we're in, but I think we're really holding our own, particularly in that young universities space, because this year the Times Higher Education ranked Southern Cross Uni among the top 100 young universities in the world under 50 years old and in the top 600 universities globally. So what's important about rankings? Why do we care? Well, of course, they are about reputation and they are about profile. But what they are is an aggregate score of research, employability, learning engagement, learning experience, global engagement, and more recently, sustainability. What it does tell us, I think, or I hope, is that we are creating a great environment for students to learn and thrive. And a growing research culture, which supports our HDR students. But I think what's important in this, that it's a culture that you are all part of creating. Our ever expanding HDR cohort, of which you are obviously all part, is a critical part of the university's growth and reputation. HDR students create vibrancy, are driven by passion for their research areas, and in doing so expand the thinking of all the rest of us, of your supervisors, and the onward effect that that has, the ripple out effect. You're the people who forge the new research ideas. Your papers and conference presentations also tell the world about who we are as a university. So we undoubtedly value you and the huge contribution that you bring to Southern Cross University and the mark that you are making on its upward trajectory. In reality, what is a university without its students? Not very much, is it? It's building, full of crusty old academics. But to be part of a university that's going places is also exciting and inspiring. SCU is a pretty good place to be at this point in time. My history is from a very traditional red brick university in the UK. So when I first came to SCU, to a kind of quite new and growing university, it took me a little while to adjust. I was a bit mind blown by how things happened and the way things were done, and you know, and some of that's good and some of that's bad. But what I've seen in the 4.5 years that I've been here is just immense evolution, and I don't see that journey stopping. And so to be in this place at this time and to be part of that journey, I think is a really great place to be. Essentially, you are the next generation who will influence the future across this rapidly changing world in which we live through the work and the research that you do. And I guess that leads me to reflect a little bit on the title of the conference. We know that praxis refers to the practical application or exercise of a theory or belief. It emphasises putting knowledge into action rather than mere theory. I'm sure that would describe the purpose of most of your projects and most of your research. When you consider that our purpose here at Southern Cross Uni is changing lives through revolutionary learning and research with real impact, then we can see the perfect synergy between what you're trying to do here today and tomorrow and what we're trying to do as a university. We all want to do work that makes a difference to our target populations, whether that be in the health field where I work, in education, business, law and arts, or in the fields of science and engineering. I see in the programme, as Tamsin just said, there's a great spread and representation across all of those areas across the next 2 days. So you come together today and tomorrow with a shared purpose to exchange knowledge, insights and ideas that will shape our fields and drive progress. Whether you're a seasoned student nearing the end and all the associated terror that that brings with it, we've all been there, or a curious newcomer just beginning on the journey, your presence enriches this gathering. So throughout the next 2 days, you'll delve into thought-provoking sessions, engage in meaningful discussions and forge connections that extend hopefully way beyond these walls. We were just saying outside, PhD journey is an amazing journey, but it's a very up and down road, and it can be very lonely at times and very isolating. So events like these and the association and the connection that that provides are really critical to keeping your feet on the ground and getting through to the other end, actually. And you will forge relationships. Uncle John said about relationships. Relationships are the key to everything. They're the key to how we get through experiences like these. They're the key to how we do good research and how we become good researchers at the end of the day. And they're the key to how we make our work have impact. Because our work just in isolation won't change anything, but the relationships that we build and the connections that we make along the way are the things that are really, they're everything in this game. And I think that's a really important message from my perspective. So throughout the next 2 days, you'll delve into thought-provoking sessions, engage in meaningful discussions, and really build those connections. Enjoy the spirit of collaboration, the spirit of curiosity, and most of all, enjoy. Thank you.